Westworld Season 4 Episode 5 is arriving next week on HBO Max, and the new trailer suggests that we're going to be getting some reveals and details surrounding how Hell's World operates, especially after that big reveal we got last week. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the trailer for Westworld Season 4 Episode 5, alongside discussing my general predictions and theories for what we could see in the upcoming episode. The trailer will be linked in the description if you want to check it out yourself. But before I get into it, if you want to see more videos on Season 4 of Westworld, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. Also, feel free to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram at Cortex Videos, which is all linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into my trailer breakdown and predictions for Westworld Season 4 Episode 5. So in the promo trailer for Episode 5, it seems like we're going to be following a handful of characters that have come together in this new world that Halores is firmly in control of. We get footage of Halores and host Man in Black, Stubbs and members of the Cause, and a glimpse at Christina, which all takes place in New York's futurescape. The episode, which is directed by Craig William McNeil, is titled Zhuangzi, and this refers to a Taoist Chinese book. Now, there's a lot of messages that can be found in this book, but a user on Reddit has already highlighted some of the ones that could be relatable to what we might see unfold. Neoplasmin Miner 2070 was the name of the Redditor, and the text he included stated, "Once Zhuangzi dreamed he was a butterfly flitting and fluttering about, happy with himself and doing as he pleased. He didn't know that he was Zhuangzi. Suddenly he woke up and there he was, solid and unmistakable Zhuangzi. But he didn't know if he was Zhuangzi who had dreamt he was a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming that he was Zhuangzi." The main themes of Zhuangzi are of a spontaneity in action and of freedom from the human world and its conventions. So what could this title be referring to? Well, it could instantly be compared to the character arcs of Christina and even Caleb, but with Caleb not in the trailer for this episode, and episode 6 being titled Fidelity, I would guess that he won't be present until then. And Christina herself only appears in one shot from the latest trailer. So who and what could this title be referring to? Well, I think the trailer and previous interviews for this season could reveal who that is. Starting with the footage from the trailer, it looks like we're going to learn a lot about Hell's new world in this latest episode. In the trailer itself, we get footage of Halores on the streets of New York, demonstrating her control over the fly-infected humans who appear to be dancing. We also look to be getting our first look inside the tower, with a drone host removing a pearl, and a shot of that red map control room with Halores and host William standing before it. But over this footage is host Man in Black saying something that reflects the Zhuangzi description I spoke about before. He says, "There's a beauty to this world, an order, a grand design. We made sure of that. It was a dream for so long, and we finally made it real. The world is ours, not a better world, a perfect one." So you may be asking, who is host William talking to, and what could this be reflecting? Well, the trailer shows us a brief snippet of footage with host William confronting human William at that cryogenic chamber we saw a few episodes ago. I think he's speaking to him and telling him about what the world has become since Hell took over. I think we're going to see more on how it all operates, and also maybe a suggestion of what this all leads to. Yes, we know that Hale has made the real world into her own twisted version of Westworld, mostly under her control, but what's to come of this? Are Are we going to see the hosts that we knew brought back, just like we see in the trailer from the shot of what appears to be Host Man in Black looking at the Sublime Door? And why has she brought back Caleb as a host using the fidelity testing? It's all very interesting because we still don't fully know where this is all leading to, even after getting that reveal last week towards what has happened to the real world. So I think in this episode we're going to initially see what she has done when it comes to the fly-infected humans, and in turn the problems that arise surrounding those who can't be controlled. And what do I think about Host Man in Black and his narration relating to the title of this episode? Well, based on what Ed Harris said in an interview the other week about his character, he suggested that Host Man in Black would be changing as the season progressed. The quote from Zhuangzi that reads, "But he didn't know if he was Zhuangzi who had dreamt he was a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming that he was Zhuangzi," is pretty intriguing. I think we're about to see Host William really question who he is and why he's been following Hale. Similar to what we saw with Halores in season 3, when she became more emotionally connected with Hale's real family and then changed once they died. Maybe in this episode, during the scene with Host Man in Black and Human William, we start to see Host William coming to terms with what she's removed from him. What we've seen so far is a host who reflects the Man in Black in the park, who went on to have psychological problems, rather than the William who went in the park to begin with and was eventually lost. Essentially, he's now the worst aspects of him. Maybe in the trailer when Human William says, "We're not here to transcend, we're here to destroy," is him talking about both of their kinds in response to Host William discussing the transcendence of hosts and humans in season 4. Maybe this is what starts to turn Host William and put him on a path of rejecting the world that Halores is in control of. And that would again reflect what Ed Harris was hinting at in that interview, and also the title of this episode. I could be wrong, but I do think that we might start to see the turn of Host William in the next few episodes, but I do think there's more to this, as some of the hints surrounding the importance of outliers may be a big talking point in the future. That outlier theory involves everything going on with Stubbs and the Cause, who arrive in New York. In the previous episode, Daniel Wu's Jay said to Caleb's grown-up daughter Frankie that they need to extract another outlier before she's hunted down. We see Stubbs and the team in the city being confronted by what looks to be fly-infected humans, so there's going to be some tense moments for them once they arrive. But in one of the later shots, we do see Host Man in Black holding a woman at gunpoint. I think this could be the outlier that they talked about before, and I'm guessing that most of the Cause are made up of outliers like this. People with mental illness or problems that cannot be controlled by the Fly Infection Project that we've learnt about over the last few episodes. We know that in season 3, Rehoboam could not control Sirach's brother, who had schizophrenia, so Rehoboam and Sirach put him and other outliers in cryo. Same with the real William, who we know is an outlier this season and being held by Halores. And in the last episode, we found out that Halores could not control human Caleb because he disobeyed the fly control when he was ordered to shoot Maeve. We've known since season 3 that Caleb is also an outlier with PTSD. And we can even go further. The homeless man we've seen in Christina's world hears the tower because he's likely an outlier with some kind of mental illness. And then the man who committed suicide in episode 1 was labelled as certifiable by Maya, meaning that he likely had a mental illness too. And even when Christina went to the hospital and saw drawings of the tower, this was again presumably by a patient with mental problems. That hospital had been shut down when Christina visited, so maybe Halores had made efforts to shut this place down. Now, of course, we've still got a lot of mysteries surrounding Christina's world, so we're going to have to wait to get more knowledge of when that is indeed happening, and if it's taking place at the same time that we had the Caleb reveal last week, or if it's later on. But if this Outlier theory does turn out to be the case, then it's not just the older people that hell struggles to control. Outliers don't live according to their code and they are harder to predict, and candidates with some form of mental illness seem to be the problem for hell. And the person that Stubbs and the cause are after may link to this idea. There is of course the questions of why they would travel to the heart of hell's control in the city just to rescue one outlier, but they must be important if they are making that journey. We'll have to see, but I think in this next episode we're going to see a contrast of themes between mental illness and control in hell's new world. But they were my thoughts and predictions for Westworld Season 4 Episode 5. Overall, I think this episode is going to focus on a few things. I think it will show us the control and problems that Halores has with her new world, specifically showing that she can control most of humanity, but that the outliers are a big problem. I think Host Man in Black, being a host version of an outlier himself, will track down this outlier that Stubbs and the cause are after, and he will realise that he's basically one himself that is being controlled into executing these individuals who can't be controlled. So I think that will lead him straight to Human William in the cryo chamber, and I think we'll start to see a path of change with his character. I'll probably be completely wrong with these theories, but based on the footage, that's what really came to my mind about what we might see and the extent of Hell's control against the outliers. But to those who saw the trailer, what are your predictions and theories for episode 5, and are you enjoying everything we've seen in season 4 so far? Let me know down below in the comment section. For more videos on every episode of Westworld Season 4, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.